Whether he's got it or not, he's downfield picking guys up. He's doing everything right. In practice, he's running 50, 60 yards, getting in the end zone, coming right back, running another play. The dude just, all he knows is work, and that's why his name's Motor, and he lives up to the name. But again, I can go on and on about what type of person and player he is. I freaking love the kid.
Incredible.
Yeah. So Devin Singletary's nickname is Motor.
That's right.
You know what my nickname is? Hand crank. Yeah, you know, because like a motor is like automatic. Hand crank is like it's old. It's get your mind out of the gutter.
I didn't
Connor
think anything.
Rogers, hand crank, you know, like the old-timey hand cranking thing. Yeah,
old jokes.
Yeah, it's old
this
jokes.
This is Boone's Farms all over again.
Exactly.
I'm just sitting here. I have no idea.
I'm leaning into it. That's what a hand crank is. Like you had to before they had motors, you had to crank things by hand.
Like the hamster on the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
hand crank.
Sometimes
Barry.
you had to churn butter back in the old days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hand crank Barry over here.
All right, fine. You know what? They're not all winners. But you know what? Shoot or shoot.
That's right.
You keep it. Absolutely.
Steph Curry, just keep going. You're going to hit. You're going to hit.
They're not going to hit. All right, let's talk about Devin Singletary, though. I agree with Josh Allen. He was talking about, if you're young people out there watching or whoever, I qualify under the whoever. Talking about Singletary, certainly having the confidence of your quarterback means a great deal because that's who he wants back there in pass pro. That's who he's looking for when he's on the field. Make no mistake. If Josh Allen is just like, I want Devin Singletary out there, they're not going to be like, no, sorry, we're sticking with James Cook. It is Josh Allen's team, and it's worth noting that not only from Josh Allen's mouth, but the stats back it up. 15 or more touches, 90 or more scrimmage yards, 3 of the last 4 games. He's had at least 4 receptions in all 3 games, being used in all 3 downs, all facets of the game. It's a great match with the Packers, who allow 85 or more scrimmage yards to a running back in every game this year except for one. Over the last 4 weeks, Connor, the Green Bay Packers are allowing 133 rushing yards per game. That's 5th most in the NFL.
Can't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah, they really can't, and obviously game script works in their favor here. If there's one negative about Devin Singletary, it's that we've seen in a couple of games this year when the Bills just blow out a team. Like they start giving, some work to Zach Moss and James Cook. My expectation is, though, coming off of the bye, Singletary's going to get enough work in this game before it gets out of hand. It is worth noting the Packers are double-digit underdogs in this one, but Singletary makes the love list here as well because of his passing game usage. He comes in at running back 14 for me.
And while he made the love list, you had even more love for Kenneth Walker, who's even higher than, what's not to love at this point with Kenneth Walker?
He's my guy.
Kenneth Walker shooting up the offensive Rookie of the Year odds thanks to our friends at BetMGM. We had this conversation weeks ago that when Kenneth Walker would get his time, and it unfortunately took a Rashad Penny injury for it to happen, this guy would shine, and he's been nothing but exceptional.
He's been absolutely ridiculous. We talked about him, as a potential league winner. I think that so far has come very, very true. I'm at running back 7. KW3, KW7 this week. He's a top 7 running back. I might be too low on him. Last 2 weeks as a starter, Connor, 278 yards from scrimmage. He's got the 3 touchdowns, 46 touches his last 2 weeks. Just massive volume here. He's averaging almost 24 fantasy points per game. And what's impressive to me is he's had 16 tackles avoided over that stretch. He's avoided 16 tackles. That's 6 more than any other running back. Yeah. The elusiveness, the speed, the next gear that Kenneth Walker can get to will bode well against a Giants defense that's allowed over 100 yards of scrimmage to an opposing running back in every game this year except for one. They're giving up the 5th most rushing yards per game to opposing running backs. They're allowing the 2nd highest yards per carry to opposing running backs. Kenneth Walker so far has not been involved in the passing game, but what's encouraging is when you look and you do a little deeper dive, he's running a bunch of routes. He's out there. It's not like they're taking him out on passing downs. It's just they haven't so far involved in the passing game yet, but I think that's coming. It's coming soon. He's a locked-in RB1 for me this week and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. The Giants, a blitz-happy team under Wink Martindale. I think they're going to counter that blitz by not only handing the ball off to Kenneth Walker, but get him the quick outlets, get him going in the pass game. So they will do exactly that. What a year it's been for Raheem Mostert for the Dolphins so far. Raheem Mostert, when he's with Mike McDaniel and healthy, good things happen. Whether it's the Niners, now the Dolphins.
Raheem must start, comes in at running back 13 for me, Connor, this week. 4 straight games with 15 or more touches, 17 plus in 3 of those 4 games here. And running backs that have gotten at least 15 touches. Why do I bring up he's gotten 15 touches in 4 straight games? Because running backs who get at least 15 touches against the Detroit Lions are averaging 18.4 fantasy points per game. Every game this year except for one, the Lions have allowed a rushing touchdown to a running back. We obviously would expect that to be Mostert in this game against the Dolphins. Lions, in fact, allowing the second most rushing yards per game to opposing running backs this year. Raheem Mostert, currently healthy, as you well, part of that explosive Dolphins offense. He's getting the majority of work in that backfield. He has, wait for it, run past Chase Edmonds. And there you go. That's right. Sometimes you go back to the well. When one clangs, you go back to what works, and obviously that works. So
he's found his mid-range jumper once again.
Yeah, fantastic.
A couple other players that maybe aren't as high as those three, but did receive votes. Michael Carter. We know Breece Hall out for the year. Sure, they traded for James Robinson. We don't know what his workload's going to be like considering he got there yesterday.
Right, and there might be a little bit of question about his health. Is he a little bit banged up here? And so Michael Carter has 6 career games with 15 or more touches. He's averaging almost 18 fantasy points per game in those games. Patriots have allowed over 70 yards from scrimmage to a running back at each of their last 4. How about Deontay Foreman, right? Chuba Hubbard, he's also a little bit banged up. 15 for 118 last week, including 71 yards after contact. A lot of that came on that big 64-yard run, but that's part of his skill set is breaking those big plays. And so Foreman, in games in which he's had 15 or more touches since the start of last season, this includes the games, when he filled in for Derrick Henry last year, he's averaging 111 yards from scrimmage as well. And I'll also mention Eno Benjamin here. We expect James Conner back, more on him in a second here, but in 4 of the 5 games that James Conner played, he's had at least 45 yards from scrimmage. Vikings really bad against pass-catching running backs. They're bottom 10 in the NFL in terms of most receptions and receiving yards allowed to opposing running backs. Eno Benjamin, who's quite adept in the receiving game, and I think he's earned more playing time with his performance while James Conner was out. So I like him as a flex play. Benjamin comes in at running back 29 for me this week.
So both Benjamin and Foreman officially in flex territory.
Yes,
comfortably.
Correct.
All right. Over to the hate side of things. The guys that, sorry, got to call it like it is here. James Conner.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has not been the year people that drafted James Conner had hoped for. A lot of it seems injury-related, but even when he's played, Barry, he looks hurt, honestly.
Yeah.
He looks banged up in an offense that has struggled to find its rhythm.
Yeah, this is true, and also, the massive amount of touchdowns. The entire offense just hasn't been there, right? We expected that offense to be a lot better and then to be in scoring position more often than they have been. This is not a good matchup for James Conner. First off, is he 100% healthy? We expect him back. It'll be his first game back. He's missed some time. Is he 100% healthy? And even if he is, over the past 4 weeks, the Vikings are allowing the second fewest rushing yards per game to opposing running backs, the second lowest yards per carry to opposing running backs in that stretch. And then you mentioned Conner's inefficiency. Under 65 yards from scrimmage in every game he's played this year except for one. He's had only one game this year that he's had more than 3.7 yards per carry. So, the efficiency hasn't been there. He's volume dependent, touchdown dependent, and does he get that against the Vikings in what could be a shootout here? I'm a little bit skeptical. He's just outside my top 20. If he's active, you likely probably have to start him. But again, I think he's much more of a flex, than I think he's just a locked-in RB2 this week. So, concerns there.
The Rams taking on the 49ers, and unfortunately that means Darrell Henderson makes your hate list as well here. More matchup, or also that this backfield has just been a disaster this year?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Especially, by the way, a disaster against the 49ers. Earlier this year, all of the Rams running backs combined for just 52 yards from scrimmage on 18 touches in Week 4 against the Niners. There's been one running back this entire year. There's been one running back that has gotten over 60 yards, even 60. There's been one running back that's gotten more than 60 yards from scrimmage against the Niners. Do you know who it is?
No.
Chris McCaffrey, their current running back. That's why they traded for him. You're pretty good. You're the one guy, right? Exactly. How the tables turn, how the turns table. So anyway, Niners allow the second fewest rushing yards per game to opposing running backs. They're giving up the second lowest yards per carry as well. So Darrell Henderson running behind, the offensive line has just been, they really miss Worth. It's just been it's been tough sledding. So Henderson Henderson is outside my top 25. He comes in at running back 26 for me this week. And I just want to point out one quick thing before we move off running backs here, is that, again, love-hate is all about expectations. So even though I have Conner on the hate list and Eno Benjamin on the love list, that doesn't mean I would start Benjamin over Conner. I have Conner at 21. I have Benjamin at 29. So my point is that I love Benjamin because he's higher than you would normally expect inside the top 30. And Conner makes the hate list because I'm lower on him than you might expect. But again, always check the ranks, which are up for free on rotoworld.com, NBCSportsEdge.com.
Players punching above their weight class make the love list. Simple as that. All right, we're going to take a break. When we're back, love-hate continues with the pass catchers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.